Indianapolis Colts look good against Patriots this morning. How much are you taking away from these joint practices? And have you been to boots on the ground, any camps yet? What is your biggest takeaway?
Yeah, I take a lot from the joint practices. Now, I'm with AJ. I don't think the one-on-one drill and the social media highlight and the fan from the crowd filming something is anything worth getting worked over. But you better believe that in 2026, these coaches, they take more into the joint practices where ones are going against one than the preseason game. Sean McVay has not played starters in a preseason game since he got there. But you better believe when they go against the Cowboys in their inner camps practice, it's going to be ones-on-ones. It's going to be CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens going up against Watson and McDuffie. We're going to see where we're at. All that stuff matters. This is where these guys really get to know who they are. I talked to Robert Saleh last week. He's got 3 different joint practices set. Those guys are doing San Francisco, Chicago, and Seattle. He's like, we're going to know what we are. We're going to get tough that way. So I don't think the preseason games matter as much as they used to. I don't think the teams want to get risks of injury. That's for when we see who's going to make the team. But for ones and the guys who are starting, inter-camp practices, the inter-squad practices, this is a big, big deal for the start of the season.
Good work, good work. Always going to be a fight, but the teams seemingly more and more are louder about, hey, don't fight each other. We're going to kick you out of practice. And every once in a while, a couple guys are just going to have to throw fists at each other, and then everybody has to show up, because if you don't show up at a fight and you're on film, you might not make the team because of it. So, it's always one thing leading to another, but we love these joint practices as well. AJ has a question for you, Schrags.
Yeah, Schrager, sticking with Robert Saleh. I know obviously Brian Daboll gets down there. He's the offensive coordinator working with Cam Ward. We see all this stuff. It's tough not to get excited, I'm not going to lie, watching Carnell Tate catch the ball in Tennessee Titans training camp. He seems to be catching everything. I guess, what are you hearing out of Tennessee and Cam Ward's development under Daboll?
Yeah, it's been lights out. One of the reasons that Saleh ran to that job was Cam Ward and the pieces that they have. What he tells me, which is great, is that Jeffrey Simmons is even better than he imagined. And then you've got Cam Ward on offense, and these guys bark at each other the entire practice. Cam Ward is one of these guys that will not be scared to get in the face of a defensive tackle to get his offense going. They are very excited about not only the addition of the rookie Tate, who's going to come along, but Brian Daboll brought over Wan'Dale Robinson, a guy who maybe didn't fulfill expectations in New York, but they paid him real money. And Daboll's like, I want that guy. And then Bellinger, that was a guy he had. We want that guy. Cordell Flott was in New York. Daboll's like, go get that guy. And then Saleh, he brought over John Franklin Myers, Solomon Thomas, Jermaine Johnson, like all of these players that were with the Jets and Giants coming to a Tennessee team that hasn't been good the last few years. There's this feeling of chip on the shoulder, new culture, and 2 former head coaches, and Robert Saleh and Brian Daboll working together to get this team in the conversation in the AFC. But you saw the quarterback series on Netflix. This kid is the real deal, Cam Ward. And if all the early reports are coming together, Carnell Tate might be an immediate impact guy too.
Yeah, I love Cam Ward. I love Cam Ward's family. I love Cam Ward's story. Started at, where was that school?
Washington.
Incarnate Word.
Incarnate Word, yeah. And then moved with the OC, then moved to the OC, then goes to Miami, flips their entire culture, sets them up in a big way. And then you listen to anybody talk about him that's been around him. It's like this guy's all ball, all leadership, and talks a lot of shit, which I love everything about. Yeah. Now, you just mentioned something that could be scary for Tennessee Titans fans to hear. Oh, great. These guys brought a bunch of Giants and Jets in.
Cool.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. But what we would like to say, and I think you were saying, is these are the guys that I think if these 2 were to be head coaches again, would like to shape their culture around, as opposed to everything else that happened, which is why they come to Tennessee. And obviously they got studs across the board. New stadium coming.
It's sick.
Nashville is Nashville
new logo.
Is the greatest. I mean, that would be a great place to be good at football. We shall see if they're able to make it happen. Do like seeing Carnell Tate have his Terry McLaurin, Emeka Egbuka type stuff coming out of Ohio State. Now, they're saying there's a kid coming out of West Virginia that could change everything going forward.
Who's that?
All of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, well, Rich Rod's actually saying, I wish these guys would have came in a little bit better shape, seemingly not as tough as I would like, but we got time to fix that entire thing. Just know that there's going to be young guys coming from West Virginia that are going to impact the league quickly, but it feels like Peter's got a different list. Go ahead, D-Bud.
Yeah, Schrags, I saw your list today, the A list, the top 5 impact rookies. We were just talking about Carnell Tate. We watched some Jordan Tyson highlights yesterday, Mansour Delane, corner out of Kansas City Chiefs. Who was kind of the first guy out from your list? I saw the top 5. 3, Ohio State to begin it. And then who was the first guy out, in your opinion?
Yeah, the top 5, I went Caleb Downs 1, Sonny Styles 2, Arvell Reese 3, Jeremiah Love 4, and then Kalen Rutledge as 5. Number 6 to me, if we're gonna say like who's gonna be that guy, it might have to be actually Mekhi Lemon in Philly because he's gonna have to play a role. They're not expecting, that he's just gonna slowly come along. Mekhi Lemon was picked right before Pittsburgh, as we know how that whole thing went. He was taken because they think if we get rid of A.J. Brown, this guy can play a role. And I really wanted to focus on the players that are going to be asked the most to do. So Mendoza might big picture be that guy, and maybe Tyson and maybe Tate. But, I was at Giants camp yesterday, guys. This is kind of an aside on number 3, Arvell Reese. I don't mean to get Giants fans too overly excited here, but I had a coach pull me aside and was like, before these guys get out there, you have to go look at Arvell Reese. I go, okay, I've seen a million football players before. I've shaken Adrian Peterson's hand. He almost broke my hand. I've seen AJ Hawk in the locker room. I'm not awed by what football players look like.
All of them.
Arvell Reese looks like RoboCop, dude. He is enormous with huge arms, and he has this entire look to him where you're like, okay, well, that guy is going to play he's playing inside linebacker next to Terrell Edmonds. They both look like they're absolute beasts in the middle. And what they're saying is Reese doesn't say a word. He doesn't talk. He just is in the facility all day long, studying and getting better, and has been nailing guys, dominating practices as a rookie. And that's up against Pat Ricard and up against Scadaboo. So I think that's the instant impact I'm looking for. And Reese kind of brings more than just tackles and stats and all that. Guys like Reese and Styles and Downs, they're also culture setters. And their guys are telling you it's a new era here. Giants, Washington, and Dallas, all in the NFC East. They need new culture. They need new feel. And I think those 3 guys really establish it. It was, I said this on First Take. I'll say it a different way. Picture the country club or the 5-star resort or the Discovery Club, whatever it is. Everything opposite of that is what I saw yesterday. 2.5 hours of hitting. And they were telling me, we were in West Virginia together for 13 days with no nights out to the club, no days off, none of the, hitting for 10 days, maximum days in pads. And it was not a fun, let's go company offsite deal. This was, we are going to make adversity happen. We're going to overcome this. And on the other side of it, talked to Odell Beckham yesterday. He's like, it was awesome. We hit the crap out of each other. And at the end of it, we came together as a team. And it really feels like Harbaugh is saying, we have to do this stuff first before we're actually legitimately talking about anything else. We have to get tougher, and we want it to make it as difficult as possible in August that you can in 2026.
And I think I heard some leaked audio where Harbaugh said, we're fighting the same battles on this field today that they were fighting back in those days.
Come on.
Which days?
Inspirational.
Those days.
I mean, which one's been a lot of days?
The bad days.
The bad days.
The bad
Giants,
days.
You know, it's like McAdoo days.
Yeah, the Pat Shermer era.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's been great days too up there, no?
No, that's not what Harbaugh was talking
No,
about.
he's talking about the fight.
Right there on those West Virginia fields, he was saying, on these fields,
Yeah.
Same blood.
Bubbling with blood.
same
Hot lead.
same battles.
Okay.
That's what he was saying. And it's crazy that on the other side of it, they came together.
Yeah.
Let's
Yep.
Strong
That's what I was thinking. I was saying, remember the Titans.
Oh, is that what you were thinking? Yeah. Okay, I'm happy you were.
Just like that.
Schrags, Arvell Reese, funny story about Arvell Reese before we move to the new conversation, just to echo your sentiment about, hey, take a look at this guy. Ohio State last year was the first game day. And as I was running up on set, a guy named Sean over there, legend, absolute beast. I don't remember his last name at this point. AJ might know it better than I.
Sean Perkins.
Sean Perkins, okay, who is taking care of us. We love Sean.
The man.
Huge Ohio head. Huge.
Looks like a Buckeye.
Cranium.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he is Ohio. You look at this guy. He's been around the Buckeyes for a very long time. He's been very good to us. Stop by him. I go, hey, who's somebody, make me look like a smart person. Like, who should I talk about up here? And he goes, Arvell Reese is somebody that nobody's talking about. I go up there. I don't say it one time. I didn't say it one time. Just for some reason, I'm like, I didn't say. I think he had, I don't know. I think he wrecked the entire.
3 sacks.
Yeah, I would have looked like an absolute genius. And then from that point forward, that Ohio State defense was just like, oh, pick your poison here. You got Sonny, you got Arvell, you got Caleb, you got Matt Patricia in the back doing this.
Katie McDonald.
Oh yeah, and also
McDonald.
Curry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Curry.
Also, Caden Curry's
Ransom.
in there. Yeah, the Lathan on one side, and then on the other side.
Igbenogson.
Oh my God! I mean, that defense was outrageous in there, and it was hard to stick out. Arvell Reese definitely did, and if you looked at him, it was like What the fuck is that? How does that
Dude.
exist?
Did you see Odyssey yet? Do you see the movie Odyssey?
Oh, so good,
man.
Schrager.
Don't do it.
Great.
I'm not
He
falling for
looked
that.
like that. He looked like the Cyclops, like giant creature. I'm like, I'm
You're
looking
gonna
at
say I got
Arbel
Venmo.
Reese.
Yeah.
I thought you were
Give
going
me
to
a little-
say.
That's-
I thought you were going to say you ought to see these.
Yeah.
I thought
Or that coach. Have you seen that coach?
At Bama?
In the movie?
No, on the sideline with the new pads.
Yeah, Bama.
Oh yeah.
I remember that was Bama.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bama.
it was Bama. That's
Yeah.
Kalen DeBoer's
Yeah,
work.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Saban tested those out.
Did he?
Yeah, Saban was the one that said, "Let me get my arms on
Boom.
these things." Boom, boom, boom.
There he is.
Good rep.
You're not in Kansas City. That looks like the Avatar
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yep.
thing there as we're doing movie references. Okay, let's move along. Let's do a little chitter chatter about football that's happening. Breaking news happened today. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Schrager. Pat's talking about Minnesota. Kyler Murray now the starting QB. J.J. McCarthy 9, maybe taking kind of the backseat here now, learning a little bit. Maybe they will be friends, not on the opposite side of the classroom. But what is your take on Kyler being the starter? Is this something you were kind of hearing going back a little bit, or was this something that surprised you, seeing that a lot of the reports were that it was a much tighter race and that sometimes everybody was having a good day, sometimes everybody was having a bad day?
Yeah, the reports have been damning for both guys. I think Sunday night, the public practice did not do Kyler Murray any favors in the court of public opinion when everybody from Alec Lewis and Kevin Seifert and the guys who were there on the ground were saying that JJ outplayed Kyler Murray in this practice and Kyler threw 2 picks in 11 on 11. But trust me, they weren't getting Kyler Murray and causing all this in that building if they believed that JJ McCarthy had a runaway spot at this position. They went and they got Kyler Murray. They didn't have to. They paid him $3 million. It's a very low contract. But the second Kyler Murray was added as a free agent acquisition, and the second Kyler Murray chose to go there, this was Kyler Murray's job to lose, whether Kevin would say it or not. It might have been an open battle. It very well could have been. The fact of the matter is McCarthy did not beat him out in camp. And here we are getting it done now so this doesn't drag on every day. And we're doing one of these, hey, who got the 1 reps? Who got the 2 reps? Who's going to play in the preseason? That doesn't do anybody any favors. Iron sharpens iron and all that, but it's Kyler's job. And guess what? If Kyler doesn't play great out of the gates, then it'll be JJ's job.
Whoa.
It's not like it's a lifetime Supreme Court justice decision that this guy's job is set in stone. We'll see how Kyler does, but the second they signed Kyler Murray, you guys better believe it. Former first overall pick, Kevin O'Connell was saying, I need that on my team, and that's what's going to get us over the hump.
Adam Thielen was on NFL Live a couple weeks ago, and he said, this is Kyler's job to lose. And everybody's like, whoa, that's the first time we've heard that because everything else has just been fair competition. It is fair competition. They're competing against each other. Now, senior NFL insider Adam Schefter is a Michigan man.
Yes, he is.
And Ian Rappaport, though, after his conversations with people in high places, he said the same thing. This is a competition. It's a competition. So we're all trying to figure out and read the tea leaves of who they're going to go with. You said if Kyler stinks, then JJ will take his spot. You think JJ trade bait right now because he's kind of done? And they do have the Carson Wentz experience standing literally right there.
Ready.
Number 11 is standing right there. What do you think happens with JJ? It sounds like you think he stays.
I think he stays because the salary itself is not crazy. It's the year 3. Next year when it's, hey, okay, we eventually have to pay this guy, that's when you start talking whether he's trade bait. I would also add, less than 12 months ago, I was on the sidelines on Monday Night Football when J.J. McCarthy beats the Bears and Kevin O'Connell's doing flips on the sideline. And in the locker room, they were acting as if J.J. McCarthy was the savior. Things change in this league.
Fernando Mendoza has a little situation brewing over there in Las Vegas, which we certainly need to know more about. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Shrek. So now that we have the QB battle in Minnesota pretty much done, what about the QB battle in Las Vegas? Really haven't seen many clips come out of their camp outside of Mad Max Crosby, man. Maybe trying to intentionally hurt Kirk Cousins. I don't know what the deal. What are you hearing from Raiders camp? Because Clint Kubiak did say, hey, best player is going to start, but we haven't really heard much.
Yeah, that, by the way, that Crosby deal that came out, that coming from like the official ESPN account was like, okay, is this AI? Is this real? Truth of the matter is Crosby is known to play to the end of the whistle, even in practice. And there have been teammates in the past who have said after leaving, like, that guy's the man. He's a great player. He's also a pain in the ass to play against in practice because he doesn't stop. So I could see Cousins being a little PO'd with all that. I would also imagine Cousins has the leg up on Mendoza just for the fact that they are trying to do a long-term rebuild here with Clint Kubiak, who has worked with Cousins before, and the two of them know the same verbiage, same offense, and Andrew Janocko, who's the offensive coordinator, has the same exact offense. So it's plug and play with Kirk. Now, the version of Cousins that we've seen the last few years hasn't been the version of Cousins that those guys coached way back when. Question is, at what point does Mendoza take over? I know they're not going to declare Cousins the day one starter, but I would imagine, talking to league sources, Cousins has a serious leg up on Mendoza, not because of play necessarily, but because of the situation and the comfort in easing him in and getting him ready to play. They don't want to do anything too soon for a team that's probably not looking to win the Super Bowl this year.
Tom Brady, obviously one of the owners of the Raiders, sat behind Drew Bledsoe, learned a little bit, and then obviously whenever he got in, took the realm. Nothing ever stopped them. So maybe they're doing the same for Fernando. We're firm believers in Fernando, Mendoza, and I'll tell you what, if he's going to have to deal with Max Crosby hitting him in practice for the rest of his career, I don't like that one bit. I don't like that one bit. Now listen, you talked about how Max Crosby never stops. I respect that. I do appreciate that. Stay off the quarterback is something that has been talked about since the beginning of time in football. Has Max Crosby just been pounding quarterbacks his entire career? And that's a real question, because that is a real question for me. And I genuinely, that seems like a complete alternate universe than anything that I've ever seen in a NFL practice, especially with the millions. Millions of dollars that are placed into these quarterbacks for their franchise. Has Max Crosby been hitting quarterbacks in practice his entire career, and has that just not been talked about? Is this just like normal for him?
No, I think I've heard this before prior to this, that he's done it before. So it's not that it's necessarily something he does commonly, but I think it's more of a product of this guy plays in practice at 110 miles per hour every play.
A lot